Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is about helping improve your relationship with diet and exercise to achieve success in your fitness journey. In today's podcast episode, I have a special guest, Miss Melissa Cannon. Melissa Cannon is from Birmingham, Alabama, who has lost 120 pounds in 15 months. She attributes her weight loss to lifestyle changes. And also, Melissa currently has turned her focus to help mothers reach their fitness goals by following her Stay Snatched 24/7 Mommy Makeover series. Without further ado, Success Fitness family, please welcome Miss Melissa Cannon to the podcast. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So are you currently in Birmingham right now?
I am. Yep. I'm born and raised.
Okay. So how's the weather down there?
The weather is really sunny outside. Today it is. We've been having a lot of rain the last couple of days, but yeah, today's really sunny. So
okay. Wasn't there like a tropical storm or something down in that area? Or
yeah, it was in Mobile. That's about
okay.
2 away from me. So yeah.
Okay, so you think that was affecting, causing some of the rain and stuff like that. I got you. All righty. So, what else do you, as far as do down there? What is there to do? What are fun things to do down there in Birmingham?
In Birmingham, okay. I'm really a homebody, so most of the things that I like to do are going to be. I love to go fishing. I love to ride my four-wheeler. Me and my dad grew up on a farm, so I'm really an animal person. I love to be out with the horses and the cows and stuff. Goat herding. I do a little bit of that too. So I'm a country girl. So
Interesting. All righty. So tell us about your backstory, how you got started into fitness. What made you want to start, losing weight?
Well, I've always after I had my children, my weight just it just was at a plateau. I couldn't lose weight. I've always been a person that has been relatively very active. So after I had my third child, and mind you, I've lost 100 pounds. This is the third time that I've lost 100 pounds. But with my third daughter, I just could not get it off. I was trying everything for months and months, and finally realized that it was a deeper health issue than what was than what my body was used to. So when I went to the doctor, she told me that I had an increased amount of estrogen, and that it was just a lot of extra fluid that I was building because of the type of birth control that I was on. So I eventually made the decision to remove myself from that birth control, and then my hormone levels eventually leveled out to where when I started to work out, I was able to keep the weight off, because with my estrogen levels being so high, I would lose the weight, but then it would just come back, and even more would come back. So let's say over a short period of time after I had my daughter, I had lost like 60 pounds. And then when I got on my birth control, I gained 25 in like a month. No lie. It was and my doctor we could not figure out what it was. And then the only thing that we were able to pinpoint was it was the amount the birth control. That was the only thing different that I had done in my lifestyle that caused me to gain that weight. So how I started losing the weight was I made the decision that I just did not want to continue to be in the relationship that I was in, which was damaging and depressing to me. And also when you're stressed out, that causes you to gain weight as well. So I just started walking. I was like, I'm going to walk a little bit more than what I was doing. I'm just going to put a little bit more effort into what I was giving myself and just pouring that back into me. And by doing so, it just transitioned into me keeping the weight off. And then people started noticing that I was losing the weight. And they were asking me questions about how I lost the weight. And it was really a spiritual thing for me. It was I was relieving all of the depression, all of the anxiety, all of the suffering that I had been through. childhood dramas. It was just a lot that I had literally weight that I was carrying that reflected in my physical appearance that I wasn't happy with. So yeah, I just started off making simple lifestyle changes. I made the decision myself by just holding myself accountable. I looked myself in the mirror and I did not recognize who I was. I no longer was happy with who I was. So I was just so fed up with being complacent and comfortable with where I was in my life, and I wanted to make those changes to progress. So yeah, eventually it just, you know, kept on going, kept on going.
I got you. I got you. So you said you mentioned you started walking. So before you started walking, what was the heaviest you were to a point to where you said, okay, I'm not gaining another pound after this, after, you know, your your scale reading, you say, okay, I'm going to start off with at least walking. So what was your weight, if you can remember?
Yeah, the heaviest I
Started.
was, and I was so embarrassed. The heaviest I was 306 pounds. And I'm relatively tall, so I'm 5'10", so you really couldn't. I didn't tell until, you know, I stepped on the scale and I was like, wait a minute, like, where did these numbers come from? It was just, you know, it was baffling to me. And at that point, I just knew that I just couldn't continue to just go down that path. I was just, to be honest, I was always tired. I was overworked. I felt disgusted with my energy levels. I used to be very, very active with my children. I couldn't do any of those things anymore. And it was just a point to where I did not want to have, I felt like I had developed a lazy mindset, you know, where I was just comfortable and complacent. But yeah, when I hit that 304 and stepped on that scale, that was it. That was it for me. I was like, nah,
I
I
got
gotta
you.
do
I got
something
you.
different.
I got you. So by you saying I got to do something different, what was the first thing that came in your head? What was like your first step? You know, was
My
it
first,
researching, or was it, you already mentioned that you're always kind of been active? Like, what clicked in your head at that moment? Like, okay, I got to start doing this. And what was that?
um, the first thing that came to my mind that was I had to have that self affirmation with myself, just to affirm myself, and just be accountable for myself. I had to look at myself in the mirror and realize that I've gotten too far out of control. And the only thing that I knew is to just take a baby step. You know what I'm saying? So within everything that I was going through a divorce at the time, did not have a car to even be able to transport myself. So I knew that I had to make a decision to make, you know, to be what was the least effective for me and was going to get me some results. And that was walking. I knew that with me being mobile, just getting up, getting out of those runs, getting out of that depression state where you just in the bed all the time, not really wanting to do anything. I knew just by me moving forward, just taking those steps, it motivated me. It inspired me actually just to continue to push forward. I know it sounds like, oh my God, it just sounds so simple, but with everything that I had going on in my life at that particular time, it was either do or die. I was either at a point to where I was like, hey, you're gonna either continue to go down this road of just being lazy and not being able to take care of the basic responsibilities that you've obligated yourself to do, or you're gonna move forward. You're gonna get out here and do what you need to do. So yeah, I eventually I started off with the walking, and then once I started walking, I started searching on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I want to challenge myself. I want to see what else I can do, because when you're on a weight loss journey, you don't realize, you know, what the roadmap is until you get to those points. So for me, I didn't know where I was going. I was just like, all scatterbrained with this whole thing, but I just knew I wanted to get this weight off. And I knew that being mobile was the first thing for me to realizing that, hey, you got to move. You got to get your body back in motion. You got to rebuild yourself. So yeah, and I did. I had been through several boot camps for many years, and had memberships at gyms, and was relatively active in losing weight. But this particular time, it was more so my mental, because I could not get past the mental blocks and those barriers that were very hard for me to overcome, to even realize that, hey, I had gained this much weight and I need to lose this weight. So, but yeah, it's a journey. It's a process.
I got you. Now you mentioned these mental blocks. So with that being said, what were either one of those mental blocks, or what was one of those obstacles that caused you to, I would say, cause you a little bit of more kind of strife to reach your fitness goals? Like, what was that obstacle? It could have been one, it could have been several that was in your way.
I had several. The first thing for me was the negative thoughts. I wanted to eliminate the thoughts that I've had for so long that I could not do it, or I've lost too much time, or my body has been through so much damage, or just the negative thoughts and the negative, just a negative way of thinking. Psychologically, when you have all those negative thoughts and you've been hearing those negative thoughts and you start believing those negative thoughts, you start to react to those negative thoughts, and that's the only way that you feel like you're trapped. So, and for the longest time, I believed that. What got me through and what got me out of the depression, because that's ultimately what that was, is just me. I had to take it to God. Me and God had to have. I had to sit down and really had conversations with God about where I needed to be in my life and what my purpose was, and where I could help others, because that's something I've always been passionate about in my background and everything. So I've always been passionate about helping other people, and that was something that that transition, and was one of the hardest things for me, because I was always a person in the spotlight when it came to my previous jobs, and no one knew the secrets that I were carrying, But I mean, you physically could see it, but I was carrying them so I hid them so well. I hid them for myself, So.
Who or what helped you on your fitness journey? Did you have a nutritionist, or did you have a personal trainer, or was it just like you said, just Instagram and just looking to challenge yourself from the various challenges that were on there?
I did not have a trainer. I literally got out there and I said, um, I'm just gonna take the courage out here and take the initiative to go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym today. I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna say, well, hey, I need to at least do 30 minutes of activity today, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable to it. And if I don't do those 30 minutes in the day, I still got 23 hours and 30 minutes to get that done. So I held myself to the highest point, to where I was just. I made it my routine. I made it my lifestyle, because I made a commitment to myself. I had been through a lot of unfortunate events, which caused me to put other people before myself. So at this point, I was like, I'm not stepping back. I'm not going back. But yeah, I did look for inspiration on Instagram. I started looking at videos, workout videos, how to lose weight. And a lot of the stuff on social media was pushing me towards getting a surgery. And my mom passed. She passed in 2021.
Condolences.
Thank you. Because of complications due to plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. So that was another reason that pushed me to keep on going, because I was like, I'm not gonna do surgery. Is not an option for me. You know, it was never an option for me, but that was something that actually pushed me and motivated me more to continue to lose the weight naturally. So, but yeah,
I got you.
it's all me. It's all
Yeah,
me.
I got you. I got you. And shoot, that's all you got. You know, that's all you got. Now, far as let's go with nutrition. I'm gonna get back to the your gym routine. What type of nutritional adjustments did you make in comparison to, you know, before you started, you know, losing weight? What were the, you know, did you go on like a vegan diet, or was it, you know, I hear a lot of people say they just stopped drinking sodas for the most part to kind of get those first 10 to 15 pounds off. So what
Right.
is it that Melissa did in
Uh,
regards to
initially, for,
eating?
initially for me, I was not a person who ate full meals. I was a snacker. So, and I had to retrain my brain. I've been helping a lot of my clients retrain their brains too, to realize that when we say snack, that's not a snack. That's actually a consumption of just about as much calories as a meal. You know, so and once I realized that, you know, I really got into the calorie effects of everything, and really counting those calories, and realizing that how many things are actually processed that we don't realize are processed because we just get them for convenience. Those things really helped me. I'm big on fruits and vegetables. Like, I was always big on fruits and vegetables because we grew up on a farm, so I was always eating those things. But it was the junk food, it was the added sugars, it's, you know, it was the starches, it was, you know, me wanting. My weakness is sweets and carbs, so I had to eliminate those slowly. I couldn't go cold turkey because I just was being real, you know, realistic with myself.
Right, right,
That I just couldn't go cold turkey because I knew once I broke that binge, I was gonna binge, you know, and that
right,
was.
right.
So I had to slowly take myself through that routine of eliminating all those sugars. I don't eat anything with sugar in it now. So I'm big on honey. I do Splenda. I don't I drink water. I don't do sodas. I wasn't really heavy on sodas before. I was heavy on sweet tea. So I'm a sweet tea kind of girl. You give me some sweet tea and some lemon,
Right.
hey, I can go through that all day.
Right,
So
right.
sodas really didn't affect me like that. But but yeah, I was big on the, like I said, the sweets. That was the most negative thing the largest impact of
Mm-hmm.
me gaining the weight and keeping it on was the sweets. But yeah, I incorporated a lot of fish. I don't eat pork.
Okay.
I've eliminated pork. I can't really eat the pork. Pork for me now, I can feel the inflammation as it comes, like in my arms. I can feel it in my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I even started to get headaches now when I eat pork. So chicken and fish are the only meats that I eat. I eat green leaves. I go through like I can probably go through a bag of spinach in like 2 or 3 days because I'm like big on. I mean, I was just raised up on eating like greens and stuff. So raw vegetables, I can eat those. Like, I can just go and get some bell peppers and just
Right.
wash them up and just go ham on them.
Right, right,
But yeah,
right.
I had to retrain my brain. I had to
I got you.
retrain my mind that these foods are not giving you the nutrients that your body deserves. So
Right.
yeah, it's a process.
Right, right, right. So you dropped over what 120 pounds, right? Over
Mhm,
120 pounds.
mhm.
Now your first, let's say 25. How did you feel after those first 25 came off? What were you thinking like in that mindset? Were you satisfied with the 25, or did you even start off and say, you know what, my goal is 100? Or how did that process go?
You want to know what's funny is because when I started this journey, I kept saying I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And I did not step on a scale. I did not look at anything for 6 months. I told myself that I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And when I was on Facebook and just, you know, posting to my friends and family, I would always tell them every single month that I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And every single month they would ask me, hey, how much had I lost? Well, I didn't step on the scale because for me, when on any journey that I've been on, it was very discouraging to see yourself, you going in the gym, you doing all this stuff and you're eating right and you're doing the right things and you get on the scale and say you hadn't lost any weight. So for me, that was one thing that I did. I did not have a scale for the first 6 months. So I could feel my clothes getting bigger on me. I was like, okay, well, I'm starting to see a little bit. But when I initially got on the scale, my very first time getting on the scale was when I put on a pair of pants that I initially had when I came down here, when I moved back down here. And they were too big after I buttoned them. I thought I had unbuttoned them. And I put them on and they were buttoned up. And I was like, wait a minute. It was just like, wow, I'm starting to lose some weight. And when I stepped on the scale, my sister, when she went and rushed and got me a scale, she was like, I can't believe you've been doing this and you hadn't had a scale. And I was like, I don't, I want to physically see myself. I want to see myself. I want to feel, I don't want any tangible things, any tangible items that I, can hold on to that's going to be an excuse for me. So she went and got me a scale. And when I stepped on that scale, I had lost like 47 pounds.
Awesome.
And I was, yeah. And so when I said, I was like, wait a minute now. I said, I've been past the first 20 months, I was just like, and it really just motivated me to just keep on going. And that was that first day that I got that gym membership. When she got me that scale and I lost those 47 pounds, I was like, oh, we're going up from here. We're going to keep on going. So, yeah.
So what were some of your favorite workout routines in the gym during that whole phase? Was there any particular, routine that you followed, or was it kind of go in the gym and just fill it out and just know that, hey, I got 30 or 45 minutes today to just, fill it up and get it in?
Initially, I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do like 5. I try to create a routine for myself because I was like, okay, I've got 30 minutes I need to do. I'm going to do 5 minutes of cardio. I'm going to work on my legs for 5 minutes, arms for 5 minutes, my abs for 5 minutes. I would try to do that within the 5-minute time frame. And it was very, it was discouraging to me because I kept looking at those 5 minutes like, dang, I've only done this in 5 minutes. And I stopped doing that. So what I started doing was some of the guys, they told me, they said, well, you just need to start just counting your steps and not worry about the time. Because I'm a time person. So I was like, okay, well, let's do it that way. So I would count, and I knew I couldn't do 10, and I knew I couldn't do 5, but I knew what I could do, and I could do 3. I can do 3 sets of 3. And I was like, okay, well, I can do 3 sets of 3. Well, tomorrow I'm going to do 4 sets of 3, and I just, and I said, well, I've got to where I can do 10, then let me go ahead and see if tomorrow I could push myself for 20. Because by the end of the week, I wanted to be able to do, 50 without, being able to stop in between. So my routine eventually went from me just doing like cardio. I was doing cardio really heavy because I know cardio causes your heart rate to go up, and then you sweat all those bad toxins out and you lose the fat, get it off. But cardio for me was pretty boring. So I needed something that was gonna challenge me as well as put me like, I'm seeing the results. So that was lifting for me. For me, lifting, me getting out there, just having the dumbbells in my hand, the kettlebells, the leg press, the machines. It was just like, it was different. It was a different experience. And I eventually started doing a full body routine, which led me from being in the gym for like 30 minutes. I started off at 30 minutes. I go to the gym now. I can stand in, but I can be in there for at least about 2 hours. Just in there working out every single muscle.
Yeah, that's how it starts off, when it's like you said, 3 sets of 3, or small sets or small reps, and then you challenge yourself to see if you can do more the following day, and then you do, and then you keep repeating that process. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour, and just that natural progression. And then you start seeing the results, and then you start feeling the results. Above all, you start being a little bit more chipper when you wake up, or you got more of a stride in your step, a little bit more calmer to certain situations. And that's just one of the many benefits. Meanwhile, we're kind of just, we could be one track minded and thinking that, 20 pounds or 25 pounds or 30 pounds to get that off. And then when it's off, it's like, oh, okay. But that whole process from losing 0 pounds to 25 pounds, a lot of times we don't account for the other intangible things, like, we just got through talking about. So just with that being said, how did you feel once you finally reached the 120-pound mark?
It was the goal for me was, it was just 100. I didn't even, it was life-changing for me, life-changing, because I suffered from dysmorphia, and I didn't realize that was a serious issue, because when I didn't have a scale, I wasn't really looking at the numbers of the weight. So I was just physically like looking at myself. And also another thing I did too, I didn't have a full length mirror. I did not want to see how I looked fully until I was ready to take myself to the next level. And people were like, that's crazy. Why did she do that? Because I was so self-conscious with my image of how I looked physically, that once I got my mental together and I saw my physical, I was just like, okay, well, this doesn't bother me anymore. I can go ahead and just keep challenging myself. So, but yeah, I think I rambled a little bit. I got a little a little tongue tied there, but yeah. So
it's all good. It's all good. We're talking about your the 100 pounds, because just getting that off, it's more. It's such a realization that it's like 100. You know what I mean? And it's like, I didn't disappear. From the standpoint of like, you're just thinking 100 pounds is like, well, that's it. I'm gonna be a twig or whatever. And then, you may still have some more to go, or you just realize like, man, I had 100 pounds on me, and now it's off.
Yeah.
And then it's everybody's reaction to it just as well too. And in your head, you're still kind of thinking that you lost weight, but didn't lose the weight, because in your head, you are you, but everybody else hasn't seen you in 6, 8, 12 months. They're looking at you now. They got all these questions. Now they want to start listening more. And it's different. It's different because that time that you spent, nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, it's like you're in this cocoon that you've protected yourself, from kind of like the public or everybody, or just, just thoughts or whatever, because you're in your own zone. So you become a little bit more reclusive to sometimes talk. At least I know personally that's what I went through. Because it's like, no, let me take care of myself, because this has brought the happiest that I've been in a long time. And I don't want anybody to interfere with that. So that's why I was asking about, how did you feel after that 100 pounds? Because it's a feat. It's not the 25 pounds. It's 25 pounds 4 times over.
Right. So yeah, it was a great accomplishment. And the time when I really looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I wasn't that big.
Yeah, you're kind of in this denial, and then you start fitting into different clothes, or you can just go to the store and you don't have to spend so much time to try to see, do they have this color in my size or blah, blah, blah. You go right to there, like, yep, I just picked that up. I don't even have to try it on anymore. Yeah.
I will say the selection of clothing has gotten a lot.
Yeah. And the prices are better too. The prices are better. The prices are better.
Absolutely. I love to shop now.
Yeah. The prices are better. So what major lesson did you learn about yourself when you reached your goal? What is there, like, something that was like the, for lack of a better terms, the cherry on top, like, this is the lesson that I learned just about you in your life, and what you were going through?
Well, for me, it was believing in myself. That when people say mind over matter, that is exactly what it is. You have to believe that you could do anything that you put your mind to. But you also have to make sure that what you're putting your mind to is what's beneficial for you overall. So you don't want to put other people's perspective of what you should be within that belief. You have to do it for you. So that's something that I ultimately learned during this journey, that you have to believe in yourself. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to love yourself past what you physically see, and know that you could change anything within yourself if you work hard at it. So yeah, it's been a journey. I'm still on my journey. I'm still rocking my journey. Again, I still got a little ways to go though. I
It's a
still got a little bit
lifestyle
more.
change.
It's a
So,
lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
so tell everyone where they can reach you at if they want to connect with you. You mentioned earlier, well, I mentioned earlier in your bio about um, your program where you help mothers lose weight. So tell everybody where they connect with you, or where they can connect with you in regards to that, and go into a little bit of backstory in regards to that.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. The bread and the butter. So like I said, all this started a few months ago, when people, like you said, you put in the work, no, nobody notices. But then once you have that overall change, then everybody's asking you, well, how did you lose all the weight? How did you do all this? So I created a group, which I had a bunch of moms, and we were all, they wanted to work out with me. And then eventually I would go to the gym so much that people thought that I was a trainer. And so I was like, I don't think, I should be doing that. We got a lot of trainers. We got a lot of good people out here that are motivating and inspiring people, and they motivated and inspiring me too. So I don't think this is something that I need to do. Well, my friend, she went online and she's like, well, we've got this group of people that really need somebody to help them lose weight. And I think that you'd be perfect for it. So I go to the rec and I talked to this group of older women. It was about a group of 10 women, and they were willing to pay me right then and there. And I was like, you know what? It's time. It's time. So it's something that I did not expect to walk into, but I am glad and I am very happy to have the opportunities to help other women transform their lives. So that's how Stay Snatched 24/7, my fit club started. We started off with about 10 women. We now have over about 55 women that I talk to, I motivate, and I inspire every day on their challenges of weight loss. And that's how I created the Mommy Makeover series, because I've got a lot of women that say they want to target the gut and they want to target the butt. Okay, so they want to get these areas targeted. But for me, before I help anyone lose the weight, I could take you in the gym, we could do all these workouts, but where's your mental? Where are you at mentally? So because I do have a background in life coaching, that's something that I picked up as well on this journey. Life coaching, I started getting into, the deeper meaning of why women were having these blocks. So I created the 2-week, the total detox. It's we're gonna detox you from your kidneys, your liver, and your colon, and get all that detox out. And then the second week is where we do our self-affirmations, and we go through loving ourselves fully and wholly, so that we can then go in to get to the big boy stuff, the workout. Because we want to make sure that we sustain mentally before we can even try to go physically and try to lift, 10 to 20 pounds or whatever you're able to do, and beat those challenges and break those barriers. So yeah, it's been something that I have been working on as my bread and butter, because like I said, I've done all the hard work. Look, I've been doing this thing for years. I've been, been out here on my grind for years. But for my ladies out there that are ready and willing to transform their lives, I did create this program specifically designed to target those areas of your stomach and your gut, and we want to make sure we get you regaining your curves. Like I said, I'm all about the natural. I want women to understand that they are beautifully made, regardless of your shape or size, but your health is your wealth. And before we can get to your wealth, we got to make sure we get their health right. So I'm all about that. And I do the first step of my program is the 2-week total body detox. And then we do a 15-day lose your gut, gain your butt. And then that third part of the program is to regain your curves. Because once you lose the gut and you get the butt, you know, we're getting y'all toned up and stuff. We want to make sure we regain your curves, because the curves are there. We just want to regain them. We want to shave a little bit off a little bit. So that's part of my Mommy Makeover series, to get you snatched. And like I said, I want you to be snatched 24/7. I don't want you to be walking around here with the shapewear on, and you take the shapewear off, you're not snatched no more. We're staying snatched 24/7 on my on my clock. So yeah.
I like that. I like that. And is your group on Facebook where they can reach you at, or is it strictly just Instagram?
You can reach me on Facebook as well. My name on Facebook is Melissa Stay Snatched Cannon, and on IG, Stay Snatched 24/7. Where I do tips and tricks on there all the time, as well as some workouts, and give you guys some tips on what to eat. And then on my TikTok, I got Stay Snatched 24/7 on my TikTok too, so y'all could check out my little comical workouts there as well. Keep y'all motivated.
I got you. Well, I hope you found inspiration in today's episode with Miss Melissa Cannon. This brings us to the end of another episode of the Success Fitness Podcast. The show is sponsored by my new e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners, and you can get that at successfitnessstore.com. You will have 3 recipes for one high-protein meal under 600 calories, step-by-step written instructions, video tutorials, and also a free workout ebook. Once again, you can get that at successfitnessstore.com. Please join my Facebook group, Success Fitness Family. The link will be in the description box. Thank you for listening to the Success Fitness Podcast. And until the next episode, Success Fitness is the mindset. And remember, success is golden. #more weight, and we will have all of Miss Melissa Cannon's information in the description box. And again, I want to thank you for appearing on the Success Fitness Podcast, Miss Melissa. You have a great day.
I really appreciate it, Christian. You have a wonderful, awesome day.
You too.